So here we go. Let me just get Jackie back in. Fantastic. Okay. So let me just go back into my screen share. And just make sure I've got my slides. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go. Okay, so again, the A.L.I.V.E model. So just mentioning there how the multiple intelligence is, again, finding out what your learner's good at. Now, on the Padlet, you'll notice that there's a web link called the Literary Wrap, and it'll take you to a YouTube video. Basically, some examples of English language students using rap. They created a rap theme to talk about some of the language features for the higher level functional skills English that they'd be expected to have some understanding of, like things like hyperbole or alliteration. All right. So these are kind of things that have been created into a rap. Now that's using the learner's musical intelligence for them to confirm that they've understood exactly what you've taught them. All right. That is their way of doing it. So it's very intricate, it's very innovative, but it also helps to keep the learning in the A.L.I.V.E model, okay? But do have a look at that, it's a very interesting video. Okay, so with A.L.I.V.E teaching, making links between English and vocational subjects, real life, you know, constantly mapping the, you know, what you're trying to cover in your English language outcomes to other vocational subjects that they may well be doing. You know, when I've taught English, either GCSE or functional skills on full-time study programs, I always used to try to link it with some of their vocational criteria so they can see the linkage, because that way it'll also support their language development in their vocational subjects as well. Okay, learners being active, thinking, reasoning, practical tasks, solving problems, you know, really helping to work their metacognition skills as much as possible, using the subconscious part of their mind is what we're trying to do. So lots of things around activities, lots of things around solving things, working things out, working together, all these things are good. And that leads on to the next point about working collaboratively and so on. And as I mentioned before, we can obviously get them to do that using, you know, if you're teaching using Zoom, there's breakout groups. You can obviously, you know, we can get them in groups, in face-to-face courses when that happens, but also, you know, trying to get them to work collaboratively, maybe outside the class, using Padlet for them to be able to put things together to then show the teacher as part of a flipped learning activity. Also, letting the learners lead a discussion with the teachers. Okay, now I sometimes like to use an activity called hot seat. Okay, so put the teacher in the hot seat. So let the learners ask questions about a text, about what they have to do, and then the teacher will answer their questions. It's really fantastic. It's really good. I mean, again, it puts you in, you know, in the hot seat on the spot, but then, you know, if you are confident about the subject and you're able to then give them the information, fantastic. But it will give the learners a little bit more ownership of the lesson, and they'll be able to learn a lot more as well. Also using visuals or hands-on materials and activities, really powerful, particularly if your learners are mostly visual. Then if they see something, then there's more chance they will believe it. And for me, when I'm teaching English, say, you know, all levels, and particularly if I'm looking at reading comprehension for level 1, level 2, I never show them the text. Okay, what I do is I then show them a picture which alludes to the text in some shape or form, establish the context, activate their schematic knowledge, ask contextual questions, get them to talk about anything that is relatable to them and the picture, or get them to do matching activities of things, you know, matching language features to the definitions as a bit of a quiz, you know, like a rapid fire quiz or something of that nature, just to get them moving and working at the beginning. And then afterwards, you can then show them the title of the text, get them to predict what it might be. Prediction is very powerful as well, to be able to use prediction, and to be able to, you know, get the learners to develop a hypothesis, which they then have to approve or disprove as when they read the text. You don't have to give them the text straight away to make it alive. You can, as I said before, unsegment it, get them to annotate it, put capital letters in there, give them text with grammatical errors or spelling errors or punctuation errors. Error correction is very, very good for getting them to, you know, use their growth mindset, their subconscious part of the brain, because the subconscious part of the mind is really about being creative, using ingenuity, using their wisdom, using their instinct. Really powerful. Get them to really think about it. And then, you know, like getting them to like sequence a text, give the text in different bits of pieces, and they just have to put it all together to segment it. So these are examples of DARTS activities, DARTS, which is an acronym for Directed Activities Relating to Text. So I never just show a piece of text. There's always some pre-text work that then whets the appetite, builds them up, and then gets into that. And which is why, you know, I try to make the teaching as alive as I possibly can. Okay, guys, we are now heading up to 2 o'clock. So really we're coming towards the end of this first day, really, the end of the second session. So can I ask people then for any final comments before we close the session? Because we're getting on towards 2 o'clock. I'm going to now make sure there's information on the growth zone, Thunk's questions, Plickers, the GCSE Maths case study, and my teaching notes for entry 3 main purpose reading teaching and level 1 complex sentences. Yes, what I'm going to do is once we finish this transmission, I'm going to send you another Zoom link, and I'll also send you the video for the second session as well through WeTransfer, and that way you'll be able. Yes, there will be a password and a link for you to get access. So I'm doing a new Zoom link for every single day. Okay, are there any other? Yes, it's on the Padlet, yes. But I'm going to add a few more things on there for the first day, which is the day that we've completed. Are there any other questions, everybody? We're doing... Okay, right. Now, with the... Good question, Shirley. I believe that you can have the use of 3 Padlets if you're on a free, but if you are paying, I think it's about, I don't know how much it is a month, £5 or £8 a month, I'm not sure how much it is, but you can have unlimited. But what people, now I haven't told you this, what people tend to do is they just may choose to use a different email address and then just keep the Padlets that way. I know that's common knowledge, but anyway, I've said it now. So you can use it for free. Okay, that's fine, Vicky, that's fine. Feel free, Vicky, to ask any questions, anything you like in terms of how you could use this, adapt this, etc. We are going into some depth into teaching of English, so yes, please do ask. Okay, Paula, that's fantastic. Paula, what I'll do is I'll try to find a video for you, which will go into, we don't obviously cover Padlet training. It is covered in the digital technology English language training course, which I deliver. So, but there is a very nice YouTube video that just gives you a bit of insight on how you can use Padlet for teaching. I have sent, yes, Abia, I've sent you the link to the Padlet, and all you need to do is you just need to click on the link and you've got public access to it. Do you need us to send your... No, I don't need your email address. However, if you want to ask me any questions or you want to write anything down on a separate private email, then you've got my email address, you can then do that. Ask Richard Buckley for Padlet. Oh, is Richard in-house, Nottingham College? Yes, probably. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, you may well have somebody, you may well have like an IT digital person who might be able to help you, but I'll send you a video anyway. I'll send you a video so you can learn it within the realms of the course. Thank you very much, Dorrit. Thank you. No problem. My pleasure, Dorrit. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, everybody. So if anyone wants to have a chat with me, they can switch their mute off. If you want to unmute yourselves and ask me questions before we finish off, that would be fantastic. Any other final thoughts? But in the meantime, guys, if you need to go, thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you on Wednesday. We're doing speaking and listening in the morning, and then we're going to be looking at additional learning needs in the afternoon. All right? So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. So I'll be here just for another few minutes if you want to ask any questions. I'll also send you the recording as well for this part, so you'll have that too. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to switch my video off, but I'll still be able to hear you if you want to ask any questions. Okay, so while I do all my extra admin work, I'll be able to then still listen to you if you want to. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matthew. Thanks, Tarek. Thank you very much, Siobhan. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Liz, Paula. Marvelous. Oh, fantastic. So, Paula, you are a kindred spirit. We were both from prisons. Oh, we got a lot of catching up to do then. I have to say, some of my examples of effective teaching of English have come from my experience of working in prison. So, and this is what kind of got me very interested in emotional well-being and mental health, and looking at those considerations as I'm teaching to my learners, to my post-16 learners. But that's fine. That's great, guys. That's great. All right. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to be here and I will listen while I stop my share and then I do my work, but I'll leave the Zoom on if anybody wants to ask any questions.